Question, the member from Cambridge.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My question is to the Premier. When the last PC government was in power, it was confronted with a decision to build a power plant in the Western GTA. And after careful consideration and discussions with local residents, our government did the responsible thing and said no to the power plants because that's the way governments are supposed to behave. But this is a Liberal government, Mr. Speaker, that simply can't say no. They said yes to locating the plants where they should never have been sited. Yes to cancelling those plants to save some seats. Yes to wasting hundreds of millions of taxpayer dollars. And yes to hiding documents from the people of Ontario. Will the Premier stand up and tell Ontarians that it was only her government that ever thought locating the plants in Oakville and Mississauga were good ideas?
Minister of Energy.
Minister of Energy.
Mr. Speaker, I thank the member for the question. You know, the party on that side has had energy policies, has a white paper on energy. We should really examine what they're saying on that side of the House. For example, they want to privatize OPG. You know what? Ernie Eves wanted to privatize OPG. And when he tried to do it, energy prices went up 30%. Not only that, when they were managing the energy system, Tom Long, who was the leader of the opposition's co-campaign manager, made off with $1.3 million in Hydro One contracts. That's the record, Mr. Speaker. And of course, the firm of the leader of the opposition, co-campaign manager, received $250,000, which the leader of the opposition later called a bargain. We have a policy that makes sense in placing our electrical generation. We will continue to do it with credibility.
Thank you. Supplementary.
Well, Mr. Speaker,
Scandal.
it takes a decision to build a power plant to come before a decision to cancel it. It takes a decision to award power plant contracts that has resulted in hundreds of millions of dollars in cancellation costs. It's taken a decision to obstruct the work of this legislature that leads to a contempt charge on the floor of this House. Your Liberal government made all of those decisions, Minister. Your decisions have tarnished the Liberal Party, thrown its caucus members under the bus, and the people of Ontario are left to foot the bill. Will the Premier stand up and admit that it is her government's decisions that have left it mired in scandal, and will she apologize to the people of Ontario for bilking hundreds of millions of dollars from their pockets?
Mr. Speaker, in 2011, there was a provincial election campaign. All parties supported the relocation of the Mississauga plant. We were fortunate enough to be elected. They lost the election. We honored that commitment. We honored the same commitment that they made, Mr. Speaker. So we are making the right decisions. As a matter of fact, Mr. Speaker, we have a community in Oakville that likes our decision. We have a community in Mississauga that likes our decision. We have a community in Sarnia-Lambton that likes our position. We have a community in Lennox in Eastern Ontario. We have 4 parts of the province that like the decision that we made, that was a commitment that all 3 parties made. We're proud of our decision, Mr. Speaker.